Abstain from these things. Abstain from the stuff that's going to destroy you. See it? Which wage war against your soul. You are in a battle. Don't let Satan get you. Because you have so much more in Christ. What about you and Jesus? How many people would say that when they see you, they see Jesus? They see his love, they see his humility, they see his gentleness, they see his patience, they may even see his righteous anger. And not just in your actions, but also in your attitudes. The fifth habit of grace or spiritual discipline that the Apostle Paul gives here is godliness. And what is godliness? Godliness is Christ-likeness. God's plan for us is to become more and more like him, to be conformed to his image. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, and for those who are called according to his purpose. For those whom he did foreknow, he also predestined to be conformed into the image of his Son. That's God's purpose. Notice there are three things that we get in Christ. Three blessings that are ours in our identity. Blessing number one is you are God's prized possession. We are God's prized possessions because we are chosen out of love to be his children. Second blessing, not only are we God's prized possession, but we are also his platform for proclaiming the excellencies of him who called you out of darkness into marvelous light, or in other words, to be a witness for Christ. Notice Peter's not done listing the blessings God has given us that ought to motivate us to add to our faith godliness. He says, first, you're God's prized possession, a chosen royal priesthood, a holy nation. Second, you are God's platform for proclaiming the excellencies of him. And third, you are God's pilgrims or exiles passing through this life to the next. What Peter did for us, he gave us an understanding of who we are in Christ and why we need to do what Jesus would do, why we need to put on godliness. But how do we do that? How do we express our identity? How do we live out our identity? This is his practical teaching. He says just two things. He says, number one, therefore abstain from the passions of the flesh. And I love how he does it. He says, beloved, brothers, friends, my loved ones, we are God's prized possession. We are God's platform. We are just pilgrims passing through this life. Don't do that. Don't go there. Don't live that way. Abstain from these things. Abstain from the stuff that's going to destroy you. See it? Which wage war against your soul. You are in a battle. Don't let Satan get you. Because you have so much more in Christ. People are looking for a way to make fun of Jesus. And we ought to live such an honorable life that they can't make fun of Jesus because of us. That's what it means to put on godliness, to live, to be like Jesus.